Sorry for the false start last time. I started at chapter 2. We left off at chapter 2. I started with chapter 3 and was kind of a little thrown off by that. Okay, going to chapter 2 now. All right. So, okay, chapter 2. The intriguing message of the clear quartz penguin. No sooner do I feel this sickness in my stomach than a couple of moments later a mighty wind comes forth from the north. Then, in a twinkle, all the tropical-looking birds disappear on the spot. As the wind subsides, I hear their squawking voices singing a squawky song, all in one defiant unison. Human, choose to be a religious believer, squawk, because scientific studies show that religious people have more children, squawk, and that means that Darwinian evolution favors them, squawk. Yes, choose to be a believer, squawk, squawk, yes. So basically, the idea here is to resume. It's going to become more salient in the choose your own story game. How how a practical approach to all sorts of belief systems are proposed by the actual creatures, the unforeseen beasts, and you're going to, as you navigate in the choose your own story game, which is the upcoming game, the book 2 of the series, you'll have to navigate through these different beliefs, which kind of all verge on a certain high level, well, an incredibly high level of cynicism and nihilism throughout the book, in which you'll have to actually outdo these creatures, the unforeseen beasts. But continuing on with this chapter, I can't believe what I'm hearing, and just as my mind is incredulous, so too my soul is vexed to hear words so contrary to the integrity of my religious-oriented belief system. Several moments of silence pass, for which I'm grateful. But then I hear the voices of the birds again, this time proclaiming the following message in one caustically mocking accord. He who wishes to gain his Darwinism must lose his Darwinism. Listen, and we shall explain to you the mystery. You see, he who loses his Darwinism, his Darwinian faith, is more likely to be religious. Consequently, such an individual will have more offspring, at least according to these scientific studies, which are shown earlier, and will thereby gain the fruits of Darwinian fruitfulness via his more numerous viable offspring. Yes, we are impelled to repeat that he who wishes to gain his Darwinism must lose his Darwinism. Upon hearing this, I am again moved to voice my confusion, but this time I am filled with such a perturbation that I answer with a voice that approximates a shout. Who hath wrought all this madness? My words reverberate in a forceful echo, both unexpected and thought provoking. However, with each repetition of the echo, extra words find their way into each repetition. Here is what I hear. Who hath wrought all this madness? The first echoing, the same as the earlier said. I repeat, who hath wrought all of this madness? The second echoing. And a trifecta now. Who hath wrought all of this madness? The third echoing. And one final time. Who hath wrought this madness? A fourth echoing. What the haystack? I exclaim. Why did that echo contain those embellishing additions for each repetition in the echo? Then, as if my voice has found a mighty listener from the invisible realm, the whole room is gobbled up, seemingly by the mysterious forces of space and time. I now find myself alone in a celestial zone of stars, moons, and wondrous nebulae. There is no floor below me and no ceiling above. Here, in this spaced out feeling, I vaguely catch glimpses of the multitudinous but too distant possibilities for existence. But as soon as I focus my mind on the fact that there is no ground upon which to stand, then I see the ground draw near to my feet. In a flash, I am provided with a place to stand, and I am soon standing straight up in a picturesque and snowy landscape at twilight. But it is very cold. But where am I exactly? I inspect the scenery of this new vista, which resembles an Antarctic landscape in the heart of the summer. Like I said, it is twilight and very cold from my perspective, but it's probably warm for the denizens of this realm, or so I imagine. As I walk around the snowy landscape, I come across a patchwork of small, compact crystal mounds. Diminutive hillocks of crystal, I think to myself, with more than a little wonder. As I walk past each crystal hillock, I take note of the vast discrepancies of size existing between one hillock and another. Some of them are even as small as 4 feet high and with a diameter of around 9 feet. It is next to one of these small hillocks that I decide to stop, so that I might better evaluate the landscape and the skyscape before me. I sit down on the crystal mound and look up enthusiastically, seeking to take in the vast immensities of the approaching night sky. My eyes directed skyward, I focus on the first stars emerging, anticipating how the first fully formed constellations might appear. I am not left uninterrupted for long. I have company. No, I am on top of company. The mound begins to quake as just as I am spotting some principal patches of yellow stars newly emerging in the sky scene. I jump up and off the hillock and back away a good 15 feet. It's a creature rising out of the crystal. No, hatching out of the crystal. No, it is the crystal itself. I begin to walk. It begins to walk in my direction, albeit slowly and in a waddling manner. Ah, there it is. I am the clear quartz penguin, says the unnerving being. An ambulatory crystal penguin, and one made up of clear quartz crystal. But if that's impossible, then what is this creature? An animal? A mineral? Clearly not a vegetable. Whatever the case, this much is sure. The quartz monster is emitting a pulsating energy that is unsettling to my nervous system. As for the creature's appearance, it looks somewhat demented, but I can't be sure that this reflects his true state. If experience has taught me anything, it's that reading the emotional states of non human inorganic creatures is dicey at best, completely untenable at worst. The creature starts speaking. Human, you must make haste to forget all the words spoken to you by Passaro Rasmussen. This is my commandment unto you. Amazing. It even talks with a voice worthy of an inorganic being, too. Indeed, the crystal penguin's voice sounds like a child's voice, but one that has been augmented by synthesizers to sound more loud and more alien in nature. And by alien, I mean straight up cinematic extraterrestrial alien. Oh, I didn't do that voice correctly, but there is no time to further ponder upon this point. My attention now turns to the penguin's words. He says that I am to forget the words of Passero Rasmussen. But who is that? Oh, great clear quartz penguin, I say ingratiatingly. Who is Passero Rasmussen? Rasmussen is a member of the cult Brethren of the Cerulean One. You mean to say that? Yes, he is a yellowish green bird with whom you were conversing. How do you know him, and what is your assessment of his religious beliefs and pragmatism? That's irrelevant, human. Remember that I have commanded you to forget all of Passero Rasmussen's words, and you shall do this forgetting promptly. Now take heed, for I am the clear quartz penguin, who is mighty and gives you your commandments by which you shall live. All of a sudden, my mood changes upon hearing this, or to be more precise, something snaps within the fiber of my being. Now, wait a minute, Crystal Bird. I explode with a newfound indignation. I don't care how mighty you think you are. I will not tolerate this sort of speech. It's too religious sounding. The penguin gives me an intense glare, expecting me to back down. But I don't give in to such intimidation. I resolve to match his glare with one of my own. For several intense seconds, there exists an impasse of two beings, one human, the other mineral animal, or at least something non human. And then it happens. The tension breaks down when the crystal penguin nods in approbation. Very well done, human. Your correct response to my posing shows that you are now ready to engage in the real task at hand. The real task at hand, I repeat in a state of puzzlement. Yes, you see, what you have experienced right now has just been a test. You shall now undergo the gauntlet for clarification. The what? The gauntlet for clarification. It is a trial in the form of a discursive confrontation with many unforeseen entities, and if you succeed at correctly assessing the veracity of their claims, then you will obtain what is known as the sublime relic for authentic clarification. That sounds absurd, I opine. And what if I flatly reject to undergoing this trial? Impossible, the quartz penguin scoffs. In the first place, you are already here, and secondly, you manifested this phenomenon into your own life and of your own accord. The penguin nods to me, his gleaming eyes fixed, as if as if to say, yup, that's the real truth and I'm not lying. Or at least you cannot prove it if I were. But I did not but I did no such thing, I protest. Oh, really? You mean to tell me you don't remember meditating upon that quote by Carl Gustav Jung? And with that, the penguin quotes the very words I was meditating upon a short while earlier. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own souls. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Ah, moving into chapter 3, the next time we're going to read chapter 3, and so is the chapters, but yes, so next time we will be going over chapter 3.